Desire. It hurts. It hurts so good. I want to talk about desire for a couple of reasons. One, in the spiritual world and the non-dual world, often there's a teaching that's pointing us to having no desire or being desireless. It's a really sort of constant principle that's coming from the Buddha, or we see it with Ramana, or some of the Zen traditions and Buddhist traditions all over the place. And what I want to point out is that it is a pointer. It's part of the teachings that are pointing us towards this spaciousness and this stillness and this peace that is without form. Regardless of our bodies, regardless of the movements of our lives, there's this vast, spacious stillness which is always free and always available to you. And in that point of view and from that teaching, it's a really valuable pointer, because the desire would be about the forms and the movements. Now, those of you that know my teaching, I am a teacher very specifically about how that stillness and that freedom, which is your true nature, gets off the meditation cushion and moves into the world. And I teach about the nitty-gritty details of your life and how the freedom and stillness lives that. So something that is worth pointing out is that this is the pointer about desirelessness is a pointer. It's not literal. And that's really important because desire is a really important aspect of creation, about how we create in our lives and with the forms of our lives and with our body. And there's this fuel in that kind of hot, passionate desire that will get you up off the couch and literally reaching and working and watching and looking for how to get to where this desire is pointing you towards. So I know it hurts. And very recently I've had this really unique experience where, after 10 years of pretty much a desireless place, very recently I've had this incredibly hot, fuely movement inside of me that's like literally, this movement of like hurts so good kind of fiery desire. Now, fortunately, I have a lot of awareness and clarity that's moving at the same time. And it's really clear that this is an incredible movement towards evolution. That without the heat and fire and drive of what feels to me like ambition, which is a very funny thing to experience after 10 years of really, those of you that know my story, it's a story of pure griddle survival. Most of my life before awakening, and then especially once awakening started, was just pure pain and suffering and just trying to survive, to the point where I get today, which is that my life is amazing. And I live, a dream life, not just my dream life, but everyone's dream life. It's a lot of bliss. It's a lot of ease. The forms of my life are fantastic. I have a beautiful home. I have beautiful friends. I have a great work life. So, to come to a place where there's this hot, fiery, ambitious, burning desire in me is a really beautiful experience of how this is driving towards evolution. That, where I'm sitting right now, it would be pretty easy to just hang out here. But because there's this movement of intense inspiration in such a deep kind of desirous movement, I have to reach deeper. I have to be more creative. I have to gather my resources and kind of figure out how to get to the next stage or the next place. And inside of it, I can see the value of it. And I really want to bring this up because I know a lot of you, no matter what that desire is, whether it's a desire for God or a desire for enlightenment, a desire for healing, a desire to have a dream life, these movements that are hurting you, and quite often when you hit the pointer saying be desireless, it feels really challenging. Like how do you repress it or block it? And what I want to tell you is that there is nothing like that energy to make you figure out how you're going to get to where you want to get. And we have two ways that we evolve. We can either evolve because it's just too darn painful, which I know intimately, and I think a lot of you guys do, where it's just too painful and you have to figure a way through it. But the second is this intense creative inspiration, this amazing desire. And so when we're connected to that desire, it's a beautiful thing. It's going to make you get off the couch. It's going to make you figure out the solution. The problem with that desire, or something to watch out for, is when the desire gets so attached to the objects, whether it's God or enlightenment or power or money or a love attraction. If the desire is so deeply focused on the object, you might miss the evolution. It just becomes another kind of place for that grippy separate self to want to possess. When in fact, the movement, it's an internal movement kind of uprising you to drive towards, to figure out what's in the way and what do you need to overcome to get to that place to meet those desires or have them unfold. So no need to turn off your amazing, hot, fiery desire. In fact, it's a really, really great thing. It literally hurts so good. So enjoy it. It's juicy.